I'm CeeJaey, joined tonight by Caught on production from the other side of the planet, but closer to home is my boy Refleks casting with me. Are you excited for this game, man?
For sure, man.
For Feila eSports, it is going to be Kanga on Scout, Honjo Soldier. It is going to be Supermarium Tarius on Pyro. We're just going to be calling him Super. That will be a Merc tonight, actually, for Feila on the Pyro class. Joe on Demo. Hoi on Heavy, Anzu Engineer, Layla Medic, Scrimus on Sniper, and Yerkas on Spy. While in Vision we have Piyaka on Scout, Kavka on Soldier, Grip Pyro, Davey on Demo, Sting and Heavy, Asics Engineer, Silvermaster on Medic, Norby on Sniper, and Unforgiven on Spy. This is the Week 5 game between Feila eSports and inVision. This is ETF2L Highlander Premiership Winter Season 2023, and these two teams locked on 20 points also with STCK, and they'll know that winning this game 2 rounds to 0 will guarantee themselves at least second spot, potentially first spot. So a lot on the line here, and they could be facing each other in the playoffs again. We're going to be starting off with Feila in the blue. They're going to be attacking first, and inVision in the red defending, and they'll be trying to beat the time. And of course it's Vigil, so it's going to be a best of 3. I'm going to head to you again, Refleks. Predictions, you have to call it right now. Do you think it's going to be close? Do you think it's going to be a roll? What's going on?
It's going to be very close, but I feel like Feila might be the winner overall. But I can easily get jinxed here, as we are commencing already with the first round of Vigil. Feila against inVision. Feila on the attacks, starting to drop down some spam towards inVision, sitting here down on the defense. A bit of a passive hold with a passive gun, trying to take care of the Silver Master's Uber, you know. They don't want to make a huge mistake, as Joan is starting to make a lot of progression, start walking up, try baiting out the demo Davey by Yerkas, just gunning him down with the revolver. A lot of space being made since Davey is now dead, confirmed, live at you right now. Yeah, Feila's just taking a lot of ground, and it seems like this will basically just be a free first point capped, but Yerkas and Poi unfortunately going down instantly, so it's going to delay their push by a bit.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing we've seen on Vigil. People hold first very, very passively. They don't really want to give up anyone important, and Davey was one of those classes you do not want to give up. You do not want to lose your demo late on the first hold. So as soon as Davey was down, everyone backed off, solidified that second hold, and now in position with everyone up to try and defend this. Unforgiven and Piyaka down, not really important classes for the defense, but those two down as the Uber comes in through the tunnel from Feila. They're going to use it and flash it a lot. We're going to see Grip flying through the sky there as he gets blasted away. Norby though with the headshot onto Poi, that is a lot of HP off the battlefield. Honjo also down, and Feila cannot push with those players down, but Joe wants to. He takes down Silvermaster Refleks. He's just gone straight in.
Absolutely insane. Grip and Davey also going down to Jones' reign of terror, taking that Pijaka during the process. Big place right here from Joan. That's why he's the GOAT. He is right now making Feila a lot of space, a lot of ground for them to start moving in. It's up to the rest of the Failers to start just capping in the point. Second point already being capped successfully. 2 minutes so far in the clock. 1 minute 59 if you want to be exact. Leaving inVision to be setting up on the third point, as Feila is just going full speed ahead with the major Uber ad. 70% ad. Uber is being used. Start spamming down terrain everywhere they can, taking down Grip, Sting Hand, Unforgiven during the process, and leaving Silvermaster to run away with Norby to last point as Joan is jumping in, tries spamming down Silvermaster, but unfortunately fails. Scrimus tries taking the shot, but unfortunately fails at that, and Feila is completely taken over third.
The legend himself, Emilio Estevez, once said, if you want to get to Prem in Highlander, just hold W. And I think Joe has just shown that even in Prem, just holding W still actually gets you quite far. Just walking in there, regardless of how many players were alive, and managing to just swing the tide in his favor. Already pushing on to last. He's jumped in here. Lots of stickies being rained down. He does go down, but in the trade, Kavka and Davia both go down to Poi. That is a little bit around. The drop comes in. Honcho flies in. That dispenser armor collapses around Silvermaster. He's gonna drop that Uber, and that is going to be a full Uber ad now for Layla. And Feila, 244 reflex for the 3 points. They could push this within the next 20-30 seconds, and this is going to be an absolute roll for this first round.
Gonna be absolutely embarrassing for inVision as well, as they are just still at a major Uber dissad. Ubers are being used as they start commencing the push towards last point here. Camp is on 3 times, level 2 gun by Ansu, up defending as hard as it can, and here comes Mr. Davey trying to spam in, do whatever he can to save the game, but that will not be enough, as many players try to save, but Feila will be successfully capping the point. 3 minutes 50 seconds, leaving inVision on the ground.
To just deny that setup on third meant that you could not make a mistake on last. And once you get that drop on last, it's just free. So now a massive mountain for inVision to climb. But in all reality, they just need similarly high-level plays here, Refleks. And you know what? One mistake could cost it, so it's going to be interesting to see how this first round's going to go.
But the thing is, Feila could just play completely carefully here, try not, they could just play it on the high road, you know, try to make as least mistakes as they can. As Davey tries jumping in, a lot of players try jumping in actually, try to bombard however much they can, taking down Kanga and Yurkus, but not really forcing Layla overall. But it seems like they will actually be back in a way, start setting up on second instead, since, you know, they don't want to make a huge mistake. They want to play it safe. Second point is the safest point to hold on Vigil overall, to be fair.
No, I agree. I mean, you've got that high ground on the tunnel, but boy, on the retreat, actually goes down to stickies. Oh, it's going to be the pop from Layla. In comes Davey, and that sticky was perfectly placed. It didn't actually force Layla, but she had to make a decision in the air. Am I going to use Uber or risk dropping to full damage? Ends up using this, and that is going to be 100% advantage for Silvermaster now, and inVision pushing onto this second point. And like you said, this is the strongest point to hold. So if you kind of get destroyed here with this Uber ad push, Feila have to really think carefully about what their plan is here. As the Uber's going to come in through the tunnel, it's going to be a massive Silvermaster serve into the skybox. Not much Uber is going to be used onto the players going forward. They managed to get 2-3 kills there. Poi, Honjo, and Scrimus, all important plays, but Layla gets taken down. Norby with the headshot. Norby follows up with a second onto Super, and that is a pretty successful Uber push Refleks, and we're seeing something similar to what we saw before.
You gotta give some credits for Kafka there, though. He was just distracting the entirety of Feila, as Layla was just caught off guard, up in the air, shot to the head, shot through the heart, and you're too late, you know? A lot of aggression from inVision, though. They don't want to repeat their mistakes from last round here, so they try to get as much ground as they can here. They want to catch this stub, but unfortunately not really that many people are working together from inVision to start capping over third, losing Davey during the process. And you know, they still have 0.3 times, but they gotta go up this round.
Kafka already got the big kills. He's taken down Layla and Honjo there, so this is going to be exactly the same as what we saw earlier on. A free Uber on third. Oh, the extinguisher from Grip, and the backstab from Yurkas gets Davey, but they're going to be happy with this third cap. The thing is, Refleks, they didn't use the Uber early enough, so now it's basically equal Ubers. So they have to do what Honjo did previously. They have to get a drop onto Layla here on last. Otherwise, they're going to have to win an Uber versus Uber in the next 55 seconds.
Preach, my homie. This is Feila setting up on last 10% Uber ad, as you mentioned before. They're just trying to see what move inVision got to make, because they have 40 seconds left to cap second. They do have plans to start moving on the left side, but Kanga punishing Davey, and Poi pulling up, taking down Kafka. This is very fatal for Team inVision. This is going to sacrifice him a few more seconds since Mr. Davey has to respawn, but the teleporter from Mr. Asux will be saving them a lot of time as Ubers are commencing on last point. Kafka jumping in alongside, but unfortunately gets taken down instantly by Onsu. Point being successfully saved though by every team member from Feila. 8 seconds left on the clock, but both teams are lacking many of their crucial players, but it seems like the overall ground control is Feila's, and it seems like Feila will be winning round 1.
Yeah, quite, I'm not going to say convincingly, but that last hold, it seemed pretty. And Feila thinking, yeah, let's do it. We're feeling good.
I would say that it kind of shocked me that Feila managed to get all the way to last, to be fair, during their defense when it came to inVision attacking earlier. But here we go, yet again, a new round commencing. Second round of Feila eSports versus inVision Week 5 Highlander Winter 2023 Cup, as we just started the round, CeeJaey.
Yeah, it's the first on Vigil. Not really much going on. Scrimmage goes down. No sniper means that Feila are going to be going all the way back to second, which is, like you said earlier, Refleks, the strongest place of the map, really.
Strongest opinion right there. Equal Ubers on both sides as inVision just prepare, start cooking, start frying up whatever they can to see what they can do, as unfortunately Kafka will be caught by Joan, juggled by the stickies, and eventually does go down, handicapping Team inVision a bit as Team Feila is still standing strong. A lot of spam coming down by Davey though, getting some pipes here and there on Mr. Scrimus, but does not get a successful pick out of that, as Point is just being capped 3 times on Point. Seems like it might be a tunnel push coming out of it. Who knows? We just have to wait and see what happens.
Yeah, tunnel push seems to be the order of the day. Most times, Unforgiven trying to go for a sneaky stab onto Lay that it doesn't quite get it. Gets caught out by Super. So no worries there, and just people kind of just throwing themselves forward. The Uber does come in through the tunnel, and oh my word, Anzu just gets absolutely destroyed there, hit mid-air with the flare from Grip. And yeah, that gun is down, but the rest of the players are still living, and inVision have not made use of that ground that they achieved there. Just kind of waiting, and actually Feila come out on top of that. They don't have an engineer for another few seconds, and inVision can smell the blood in the water. They're trying to go through, but Scrimus will win the SVS against Norby there. He gets getting another one. He does Sting, and he gets Davey as well. That's 3 in the space of 5 seconds, and that is enough for inVision to maybe think, okay, we got to go back to the drawing board here. They do get a couple of kills, Refleks, but you know, Feila are backing down.
I think Scrimmage just downloaded Sniper Elite or something and just practiced that. But since he was absolutely cracked just there. Still standing strong, Feila, as both Ubers are being exchanged at the moment between inVision and Feila, but it seems like Feila will still be standing their strong ground. Also with the great shooting up in the air, leaving Kafka up and falling to his step. But nice pipe right there by Davey, managing to take down Joan during the process, and a lot of players, one by one, crucial players in fact for Feila, are going down, leaving, you know, a lot of ground to be made by inVision, and a lot of them just utilizing whatever they can at the moment and scaring away Feila to start setting up on third. The problem with Vigil, you know, if you make a mistake on defense, it's very easy for you to get punished. You cannot allow the enemy team to punish you. Yeah. Speaking of punishing, Kafka pulls up on Hanjo, taking him down for being over-aggressive right from the back.
I mean, the only person alive at the end of that was not Super, because Super isn't playing for Feila, actually.
Seems like Nebu came back.
Nebu, yeah. So, apologies for miscommunication there earlier. But yeah, the most important thing is that Nebu managed to get Layla out. So she has 100% Uber on this point, which is the big difference we've seen in the previous 2 attacking phases. Each of the last time, the attacking team is able to just roll on through with the advantage and clean house. This time, Layla has the Uber, so it's going to be a little bit more difficult for inVision to take this ground. Feila have the heals, they have the sidelines. Py is going to go down though, no heavy to deny the bombers. Sentry also goes down. That is a lot of stuff going down that you do not want to die. Scrimmers goes down to Unforgiven, and maybe Feila are considering whether they have outstayed their welcome on this 3rd point as Joe eats a pipe.
But the point is still, cart rolls down eventually down the hill as Ubers were just exchanged, but Layla dying to the Kafka rocket alongside taking down Ansu during the rocket ride right there. Point being capped first successfully, 4:40 down on the clock. I mean, much worse time than previous, but you know, it's a welcome change for us casters, as Ubers are currently at a small ad for inVision's favor, and they have a lot of momentum here. They are ready to possibly make a play here. As soon as they get the Uber, they will do whatever they can to do anything in their favor. As Ansu's just setting up his next gun, not even maxed out yet. We're just gonna have to wait and see what moves inVision will be making, as there's 50% left to be charged for the Uber.
Yeah, it's been 4:40 for the first 3 points, so we're probably crossing that 5-minute mark now. As the Uber comes into last, Layla only at 70%. That gun is going to be focused down. Feila retreat into the spawn. Py is still alive and outside. Excuse me. I'm seeing pipes and stickies being thrown everywhere. Joe, Py, Nebu, and Layla goes down, and inVision just walked this in after taking 4:40 for the first 3 points. They walked the last point in just over a minute. Like, Feila just didn't seem to have a backup plan there for playing on the disad. They walked into the spawn, gave inVision all the space, and then just tried to walk out into a bunch of Uber players. Like, you have to stop the cart and also stay alive. Like, so inVision maybe feeling a little bit happy that last point went quicker than, you know, maybe you'd expect. And Feila feeling a little bit aggrieved because on the 2nd and 3rd points, they were looking pretty good.
Perhaps Feila was overstaying their high horse, you know, after doing such an excellent push. Perhaps,
bro, you've combined 2 sayings there, and I'm just nodding like, yeah, okay, I know what you mean.
I hope you do, because I hope you all chatters do. You know, I'm just a very intellectual caster. It requires high IQ to watch Refleks CeeJaey casts.
Yeah, well, we're going to learn whether this is going to be a very, very fast 2-round game, or if inVision can hold on and make this a 3rd round. Remember, if Feila manage to hold for the next 5.5 minutes, then they're going to take this 2-0, and we can all just have an early night. As Py did die to the stickies on the trap. Do you find that? Isn't that funny? It's just...
It was so, I don't know, man. It felt so dramatic, yet
it's one of those moments where you're like, yeah, you're wondering how I got into this position.
Yeah, but here we go. We've started a lot. Joan trying to jump in, Hanju trying to jump in, but getting mowed down by the machine gun Stingham. Also picking down Py during the process, but here comes Kanga and Ansu. Pow, pow, taking down Stingham during the process as well, making inVision just back away, start setting up a second, because that's the safest spot to be chilling in. You know, you straight chilling on second. As
Kanga's not chilling. Kanga just took a bullet to the body.
R.I.P.
We'll have to see what happens there. Same kind of defense coming out of inVision there as we saw before. Like Davey trying to be aggressive with his traps, getting picked off, and then inVision backing away. And it's just the same thing we keep saying, you know, as soon as there's any inkling of danger, no, we're out. As the Uber comes in through the tunnel from Feila, they use it nice and early, and Davey gets taken out. He gets dropped from the Uber, backstab, the gun's going to go down, Norby's going to go down. This is not looking good for inVision right now. They have not got very many players alive, although Feila have managed to capture the point. they're basically backcapping right now as Piyaka, okay, Piyaka does eventually go down, but there were players behind, and Feila would just keep pushing. Silvermaster is alive, but look at where Feila are pushing right there. They're getting ready to push with no Sting and no Norby and no gun to defend this third point.
As I said, they're keeping up the momentum. They're just doing whatever they can to keep getting those grounds, punish every mistake inVision is at. They're just gonna have to recover and do whatever they can to not be in the position they are in. As Py takes in a lot of spam, eventually meets his demise and dies during the processes. A lot of players from Feila are very low health. This is a quite risky move for Feila to start moving in, as Ubers are actually being used and Conch will be popped by Kafka for inVision. Digby going down during the Uber use by Feila and eventually returning the Uber use from inVision, leaving it at an equal Uber for both sides, but the ground still remains on inVision's favor. But Feila will be returning with a big drive push, big bomb from Hanjo, taking down Stingham, flying in like a fighter plane, you know, and the point will be capped successfely, leaving it 2 minutes 40 seconds.
You got like a, was it like a 21 kill streak or something?
AC 130 above!
That's the one. And Joe's just walking forward. Joe is the artillery walking forward right now. I have to say, the similarity between the previous 2 points is that Davey getting dropped from the Uber and them not being able to hold on as these bombs are coming in. They managed to get Asics. That level 3 sentry is up, but it is ripe for the plucking because people can spam it. Grip is there. He's going to try and keep it alive until Asics gets back in. Kafka also in the respawn queue, but at the moment, Feila know that they can kind of just try to work for a force here. They've got 2 minutes to play with. Or they can just go in aggressive, because at the moment, inVision are showing like a little bit too much respect. Like, I don't want to say they fear, as Joe just comes in, they're just going to use the Uber. They're going to trade. Davey does not get dropped this time. He's going to get some of the Uber, but the reflect from Grip takes out Py. A lot of people dying, and most of them on the side of Feila. Layla is dead. Py, Honjo, Kanga, Scrimus all dying, and only 2 casualties for inVision. Nobby will be back up in 5 seconds. inVision holding and weathering the storm right now. They have 135 to go if they want to get any points out of this game.
Maybe Jones is just trying to use like intimidation tactics to scare off inVision, you know, showing them that, yo, we're Feila, we managed to get 3 minutes 50 seconds on your defense. Try doing better than us, you know? And him just trying to scare him away as much as he can by just with his presence alone. Speaking of presence, he's trying to make presence, but not really that many people are helping him during that process, leaving both Joan and Py dead by the card. As card is just being reset by Kanga, fighting 1v1. Unfortunately, he loses the scout battle against Pijaka. I think he picked up the pack, so it didn't count, you know?
Crits! The crits from Joe! Asics, Norby, Grip, all going down. The sentry is trying to stop the point. Davey is there, stinging on the respawn queue. Py is there with the fist of stealing it back, but he doesn't. 41 seconds left on the clock, and the fact that Py was on there, he did not go down. The cart tips over the edge, and that is going to be a quick, clean 6-0 for Feila.